So, Jai Hind to all my dear students. Now, I am here to discuss a very important topic that belong to the cloud computing. And basically, if we are talking about the AKTU syllabus, because our college is AKGC, that is a very great college in the NCR, and this is the A, basically A plus plus grade, NAI grade is there. And this college is basically affiliated to the AKTU. So, as per the AKTU syllabus, this topic OpenStack belong to the unit 5 and the subject code is the KCS 713. So, welcome to all the students. I am here Dr. Santosh Kumar Upadhya, Associate Professor in the CSC department of this great college AKGC belonging to the AKTU. So, today we will discuss the OpenStack, that the open source cloud framework. Okay. In previous lecture, we have discussed about the Google App Engine that provide the platform as a service. This OpenStack can be used as a infrastructure as a service that provide the basic different kind of infrastructure resources, the hardware kind of resources over the cloud, like network services, cloud computing services, security, and many more. Networking services is there. So, cloud computing is a set of resources and services offered through the internet. You know that web service, UVNTU, Windows, and all these. So, cloud service model, we know that our cloud computing resources can be categorized into three kind of services, that is the infrastructure, platform, and software as a service. Okay. This software provide as a service. What is the mean of providing as a service? As a service means that are provided as a service means you can only use that service. You have no right to update, to modify, to maintain, to manage the resources. You can only use. That means if you are software as a service, where means consumer, so you have no right to modify or to choose or to manage any kind of resource. That means all these are provided as a service, means applications, runtime, security, database, server, virtualization, all these. You have no power, no right to manage anything. Other is the platform as a service, that means platform provided as a service. What does it mean? It means platform means runtime and this underlying other component are provided as a service. Underlying component means hardware kind of things like virtualization, server, storage, networking, all these provided as a service. That means you have no right to manage all these things. Okay. So, what you can manage here? You can manage only applications. If you are using platform as a service, that means platform and all underlying component are as a service. You cannot manage anything, but only applications you can manage here. That means you can write new applications, you can host new application, you can deploy the web applications for your consumers, all these. Other is the infrastructure as a service. What does it mean? That it means that infrastructure that lies on the bottom. You know that if we are talking about the layered architecture, then this is the infrastructure. Infrastructure means hardware kind of things lies on the bottom that provide the base support. Then what are next layer? Next layer is the software, or you can say the platform. What is platform? Like operating system, runtime environment, RTE is there. Then on the top of this, applications or software are there. Applications. So basically these three layers are there. On the bottom, infrastructure, then platform using the infrastructure, then application using all these two layers, platform as well as infrastructure, because application run Application can be developed using the platform, and platform itself run on some infrastructure, means that using the storage, using the hardware, like means computing power, virtual machines, all these things. So here infrastructure as a service means, infrastructure means these base components are provided as a infrastructure. We have no right to manage, to access these one. We are only using this. Okay, server virtualization, server hardware, storage, networking. So what we can manage here? If we are the software as a service consumer, we can manage applications, we can manage the runtime environment, that means platform, we can manage the security, databases, all these are the applications and these are the platform. So we can manage application and platform. And here you can categorize, this is the traditional IT practices, okay, before cloud. That means we have to install its own server, own platform, own lab setup is there. So here private, that means you can manage all these three components, means applications, then platform, application, then platform, then this particular infrastructure, because it's your all these are set up in your lab, in your premises. So you can use, you can access, you can manage all these. So this is the basic difference between the these services of the cloud deployment. This is the open stack cloud. What is the open stack? Basically, the open stack is a community of open source developer, participating organizations and users who are building and running the open source cloud operating systems. So OpenStack is basically infrastructure as a service, which is known as the cloud operating system, that take resource such as compute, cloud storage, cloud network services, cloud virtualization technologies, and control those resources at a data center level. So this is the OpenStack. OpenStack basic requirement क्या? Cloud must be simple to implement and massively scalable. I think you know the scalability. Okay, scalability means as the user applications or number of user are increases, your system does not crash. That provide the good quality of services. Okay, so this is known as the massively scalable, and then very large number of user can be increased at the runtime, but your system does not hang, does not crash. That provide the facilities, resources. This is the scalability. OpenStack mission to produce the ubiquitous open source cloud computing platform that will meet the need of public and private cloud provider regardless of their size, and by being simple to implement and massively scalable. This is the formal definition of the OpenStack mission. And what is the OpenStack history? That started from the 2005 as the Rackspace Cloud developed, then 2010 to March the Rackspace decided to open source cloud software. Then May NASA open source Nebula platform is there produced. Then June OpenStack formed by between the Rackspace and NASA, and in July 2010 inaugural design summit in Austin to launch this OpenStack. Then in July OpenStack launches 25 plus partners. October 1st Austin code release. In November 2011 the first public summit is there. Second Baxter code release in the February. This is the journey of this OpenStack. OpenStack founding principle: Apache 2.0 license is there, open development process is there, open design process is there, 2x year public design summits there. When after every 2 years there is the public summits there, where the different partners of this particular OpenStack come together and discuss for the new innovation and new techniques that can be used, that can be developed. Publicly available open source code repository is there. Open community process document is there. Commitment to drive and adopt open standards. Modular design for the deployment, flexibility via APIs. So these are the some basic guiding principle of the OpenStack. These are the number of partners, number of people, organization that are working together with OpenStack, like Nebula, Dell, Piston, NASA, Citrix, and many more. More than 110 companies are associated with this, and more than 1556 people are there, hardware vendors, services provider, more than 50 millions venture capital is there. So this is the beauty of this particular OpenStack. This is basically software to provision virtual machines on standard hardware at massive scale. So there are the number of option and number of component of the OpenStack is there, like OpenStack Compute. This creating open source software to build public and private clouds, and similarly here the OpenStack object storage. So basically this means stack provide the object kind of storage, and this software to reliably store billions of objects. Objects you can say like entity in database, similarly like table name. Okay, so more than billions of objects can be stored and distributed across the standard hardware. So this is the beauty of this particular cloud computing, this OpenStack framework, OpenStack project. So this is basically the three component is there now. This is shown here: compute, then storage, and then particular network. So basically this, you know that computing and storage both are both communicate with the use of networking services. These are the basic services that are provided by this OpenStack, like OpenStack Compute, and commercially this is known as the NOVA. That means provision OpenStack Compute and manage large network of virtual machines. So that basically provide the virtual machines for their consumer, and that virtual machine is named here NOVA. So other is the OpenStack object storage, and the beautiful name is there Swift for commercial purpose. This create petabyte of reliable storage using the standard server. You know that nowadays when we are using the big data kind of things, where petabyte of data are stored or generated per second, you can say, by using the number of social media platform. So this Swift is very important and beneficial for this particular large amount of data for the big data processing, for the storage as well as their processing purpose. Other is the OpenStack image services, that is named as the glance here. So this is the catalog and manage large libraries of the server images, and the other is the OpenStack quantum service. What is this? This provides network as a service to compute. Okay, so here as the networking services is also provided in the infrastructure as a infrastructure by the cloud platform like OpenStack. So this is named as the quantum service. Quantum service means networking services which are provided by the OpenStack. Other components of this particular OpenStack project is the dashboard. There is the dashboard where we can manage, we can choose a particular component. If you want to we want to deploy some virtual machine, we can go for the NOVA. If we are going to giving some particular data storage, we can go for the Swift. If we want to manage some images of the particular virtual machines, then we can go for the glance, and for providing the networking services we can go for the quantum services. So all these can be managed and controlled by this dashboard. Okay, other is the authentication keys, that is known as the keystone. Okay, The beauty of this OpenStack is there, all the different component have given some particular very beautiful name like Nova, Swift and Glance, Quantum, Keystone. So Keystone means authentication. So for providing the authentication in the cloud services, this is very important because security is always a big challenge and issue in the cloud computing. So if you want to provide the authentication means you are ensuring that the owner of data, owner of this particular application software are the original genuine one, then you have to go for the authentication kind of services. So authentication kind of services, this uses the public key cryptography, PKIs, okay, and the access control mechanism like role based access control and rule based access control. So this PKI means public key cryptography infrastructure as well as the different kind of access control mechanism can be provided by using the keystone, that is the basic authentication service provided by the OpenStack. Business prerequisites, so must be willing to change, virtualization, cloud automation, desire to integrate. If you want to use, then you have to be aligned with these requisites, and the cloud has the minimum practical scale data center made cloud ready, equipment built for the cloud ready data center requirement, homogeneous configuration should be there, increased power density, fat tree mesh, light out operations, all these should be ready for the data center. Object storage summary, fully distributed, commodity hardware is there, feature optimized for the scale, data protection in software, not a file system, augment SAN, NAS or DAS. This is the big, all these are used for the large storage. This is the actually the this is the directories that provide the directories where we can easily access the large database, like you can say the indexing. Indexing is very easy with using all these techniques in this particular object storage. Software dependency, so object storage should work at most Linux platform with the following software like Python 2.6 and Resync 3.0, and following Python libraries are used: Eventlet, OpenOp, Set-Up-Port and Simple JSON. All these are the different kind of libraries that are used for the open storage. Open core principles, okay. So open source means what? All code will be released under the Apache license, allowing the community to use it freely. That means all the community member means, because that OpenStack is the large community where number of more than 110 companies are itself working together for the new innovation, new kind of to solve the new kind of challenges of the cloud computing and to provide the infrastructure for the consumer. Open design is there. That means open design means every 6 months the development community will hold a design summit, a meeting, and where all the participants come together and write some specification for upcoming release. What should be the next release and what are the updation, what are the new innovation in that particular release. So open development, what is the meaning of open development? That means we will maintain a publicly available source code repository through the entire development process. This will be hosted or launched by the same community used by the hundreds of projects, including the Ubuntu Linux distribution also. Open communities. Why this is known as the open stack? Because there is the open source option is there, open design is there, open development is there, and open community is there. Open community means the core goal is to produce healthy, vibrant development and user community. Most decision will be made using lazy consensus model. All process will be documented, open and transparent. That means there is not the centralized system. This is the very distributed and number of people come together. A lazy consensus model means everyone give their own ideas, then there is the refinement, there is the brainstorming, And finally, what are the conclusions that must be specified, and every person must be agreed upon all these, then that come in the final document. So this is the open. So why we use the open stack, why we should use open stack? Control and flexibility is there. That means the never locked to a proprietary vendor, and modular design can integrate with legacy or third party technologies to meet your business need. Industry standard, that follow the most industry standard and advanced industry standards, so that is very compatible. Proven software, run the same software that today powers some of the largest public and private cloud in the world. Compatible and connected, this is the very most important parameter, because if you are going for a particular cloud, then that should be very convenient and user friendly. So compatible and connected. Compatibility and with public OpenStack clouds means enterprise are preparing the future, making too easy to migrate data center as well as the application to the public cloud. So these are the beauty of this cloud, means OpenStack. Why people are using this, and people are very means this is very favorite in the cloud community and the user. Okay, so thank you. We will meet for the next topic in the next lecture. Thank you. Thanks.